And then work on to part 4 of the drawing exercises 4. I want to look at the drafting aids um, that Vectorworks has. You find them all in the Modify menu. Right down here at the bottom, if you choose drafting aids, there are 4 different options. The first 2 maybe are useful. The second 2, or the third one, should I say, even divide, is really helpful. And then create dividing lines is just a lot of fun to use. So arc into segments. You choose a circle or an arc. Modify, drafting aids, arc into segments. You get to choose how many segments you want or how long you want the segment length to be. Choose 6. You can either choose to draw lines or draw a polygon. Click OK. So it's a way to divide up your circle or divide up your arc with straight lines. If I wanted more, you got to select your objects first, modify, drafting aids, arc into segments. I could choose if I wanted 12 segments, maybe I want to have lines, click OK, and Vectorworks fills that in. So this can be pretty helpful if you're trying to divide up a circle, if you're doing some veneer work or trying to figure out lengths of segments. It's a pretty handy tool. So you can create an octagon from the circle. So it creates if you choose to create lines, it just creates individual lines. Oops, let's get back. If you choose to create, modify, drafting aids, arc into segments, if you choose to create, draw polygon, it will actually create a polygon. Line into segments does a similar thing. If you want to divide up a line, drafting aids, line into segments, and you got a couple different options. You can place loci, which are just little X's to mark a spot, or you can break the line into segments. Let's choose 4. Click OK. And I now have 4 lines and then a point, just a little floating point in space there, indicating each division point. If I wanted to break this into 7 equal lines, modify, drafting aids. This time I don't want to have loci, and I want to choose 7. So this can help for spacing if you're breaking stuff up. I use this from time to time. It's kind of a fun one. And then break this into 5 line segments, modify, drafting aids, line into segments, leave original line intact. Click OK. So it just looks like one object, but I can pull individual lines off, but my original line is still there. So kind of subtle differences, but this can be pretty helpful. The next drafting aid is incredibly helpful. It's an even divide. So we want to create 5 equal drawers. Modify, drafting aids, even divide. So you get to choose the number of divisions in width and the number of divisions in height. So I want to have, you need a value, at least 1 width and 5 height. I'll retain the original object. And there are 5 equal drawers. I mean, they're just rectangles, but in this drawing we'll call them drawers. In this one, if we want to create 2 full heights, modify, drafting age, even divide. This time we want to have 2 divisions in width and only 1 across. And there are options, or are 2 doors. So here's a workflow. We want to have a 3 inches for the border and then even divide. I think I'm going to go choose my offset tool first. Choose 3. Create my offset. Now I make sure I choose this option. Go up to Modify, Drafting Aids, Even Divide. And we've got 5 across, 5 down. There are my tiles. And then last thing I need to do is just go through, choose a solid color. I can use my eyedropper tool, pick that up, and you got to make sure your object highlights, but I can go through and I didn't want to do that one, I want to do this one. There we go. And then come over and do this one, and this one, and this one. Sometimes the cursor's a little tricky or a little fussy. And then I could choose a different color. For the others, and do the same thing with my eyedropper tool. Pick up that color, drop it down, missed that one, there we go. You guys get the picture. The beauty of the even divide tool is that it actually creates objects. So I didn't just divide it up, I actually created all these little squares, and you know, I can treat them individually. The last drafting aid is just a lot of fun. I don't know if you guys have seen the Vectorworks website, but you can create dividing lines. There are a few steps you have to do. So you go to Modify, Drafting Aids, Create Dividing Lines. Now here's the step. You set the starting point of the division lines, and then the ending point, and then you set the bottom of the division lines and the top of the division lines, and lastly the number of divisions. I just think that is so cool. I love that. You can do them in a line, you can also do them rotated. So let's go back, we'll do some down here. So we choose Modify, Drafting Aids, Create Dividing Line. So I choose my start line and my finish line. Now I choose the bottom of my line and the top of my line, and let's do 15. And there you go. So on the website, on the video for Vectorworks, you know, demonstrating what 2011 can do, they draw a clock face using this method. But I thought I'd show it. I keep wanting to try and use it in a drawing, and I never had the occasion to do it. Hopefully, you guys will find a chance to use this tool, because I think it's a lot of fun.